It's amazing all the sounds that one can hear. When one is paying attention and worried about recording. Makes you wonder about all the sounds we take for granted and therefore miss being conscious of. Of course, it makes life easier not to be concerned with every little bit of sound. Saul is often taken by surprise after meditating or being connected by movements or sounds. He is not usually startled in his regular, conscious way of going about his day. But after being connected, he can be quite shocked by the most regular, not even that intense sounds. And he has always wondered about that. When he feels a strong connection, and when any of you, if you go down this path, feel a strong connection, it seems as if the physical world you are in is different or separate from the connected world. And by connection, we obviously mean being at peace and in harmony as close as possible to what we'll call, and has been called, source energy. It is that underlying, undescribed force, not yet ready to be admitted to by professional scientists. The driving force of your whole existence, of which we are a part, not exclusively producing or granting or providing. We don't want to get too big of an ego on this side, of course. But this source is stronger because it has to be in order order to keep all of life going, moving, growing, expanding, creating, experiencing. In a way, the realization at least of the surprises, the shocks, snap back into reality or remind you of where you are. Because one or more people who are connected can get lost in that, get distracted from the game, want to only continue in that vein. And it is a nice vein, we admit. However, it is like taking a break, as if a daydream from any game in front of you that you are focused on, and taking a break and wandering off in your mind while still being focused on the game on automatic, let's say, pilot, automatic pilot, and thinking any such thought away from the game. The snap noise or movement of something can refocus you back so you are not lost. Lost in quotes, because you are never really lost. But you don't want to, and we don't want you to lose complete focus in the game at hand. So while it is very enjoyable to be connected and one with everything, what good would it do if you were lazy or sloppy in your physical focus and then get hit by a car or walk into a dangerous situation physically? That would not do. However, yes, Saul is asking, does the reverse happen when you do meet with physical unfortunate physical intersections? Yes, then you are very connected and could go offline in the sense of unconscious but yet still alive physically, or all the way, then yes, the reverse happens and you will be connected full time. Very good question by our host. A side note that can somewhat address addiction problems is the artificial reaching for a high or that peace or that connectedness through pharmaceuticals or alcohol, for example, can distract one so much from physical experience. They no longer want to be bombarded as they see it by the physical demands of everyday life, and decide to quit the game, either long term through abuse or very quick short term, relatively, usage of anything. It can even be as legal as food. It does not even have to be drugs or drink. It can be the high received from extreme sports or extreme adventures. You want to keep getting back to it. And because it is extreme, it is not what you usually encounter in your day-to-day life between waking in the morning, let's say, and sleep at night. You get addicted to not being in the rut that has negative connotations of everyday life. If you get drunk every night or high every day, it will inevitably affect your daily routine, which can seem so boring. If you love parachuting out of planes, or diving off of bridges, for example, jumping a motorcycle over cars or chasms, it is hard to justify going back to work, going to get your oil changed, getting your hair cut, or even brushing your teeth, or bathing, because it does not even come close to the experience of detachment from physical reality. There is no judgment, however, in any of this. None whatsoever. They're all potential learning experiences, not only for the primary person seeking these experiences, but also for those around them, no matter their circle of influence, be it friends, family, or millions of people, loyal fans. Hopefully this explains that. Not that it also telegraphs anything specific happening to Saul or any one famous person or person in your life. Just an explanation of sorts that we hope can put some perspective on the chase, really. There are even many people online producing videos such as these, connected and not connected, trying to explain their goal of awakening or becoming awake. No judgment as well, however. It is completely acceptable, of course, to try to document one's own awakening story or feeling better story and wanting to share that so others can do the same. There's no problem with that whatsoever. If there were, we wouldn't be recording these. That is all laughing. However, maybe pause and ask yourself, why are you watching this specific way of this specific person's journey? Well, it resonates with me, I enjoy it, or they're funny, or they're interesting, or this whole process is interesting to see whether more like a car accident or a house on fire or a natural disaster, or I didn't know this existed. Let me go down this rabbit hole. All well and good. But we urge you to find your own way. Saul watches videos of other channelers, other transmission producers, really just transmitters, to see not how they do it as much as how they came to do it in the first place. Compare and contrast. What best way to present these recordings? More as a producer than nitpicking messages or allowing anybody else's message to over influence him. That is healthy. A bit of skepticism not on the process or the reality of the ability to transmit and connect. Really connect and then transmit. But is the presentation of it special or unique? It's all about the same way, really. We can take questions or just wing it. That is no concern to us, really, in the form it takes. But to pass, P-A-R-S-E, through and pass through all the noise meet you is something wonderful. Now, don't get